Tick tock, tick tock. Let me uh, let me give about 30 seconds or a minute to make sure as many people can get in here as possible. It'll take it takes you know excuse me 20 or 30 seconds for somebody to to realize that something's going live and then to get to it and to turn it on. So let me give it about 30 more seconds. Hey, uh, I'm doing pretty good. Welcome back. Hi, hello. I wish I could see these names, and I remember to start bringing my glasses. Hey, except except when I got startled and concerned about News Now Patrick. Okay, I think maybe we got thumbs up. Thank you. Uh, okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I just got off the phone with Patrick about 1 minute ago. Uh, he was temporarily kidnapped, for lack of a better word. Uh, and News Now Houston sent me a message saying that it was the federal center, the federal induction center. Anyway, thank you, News Now Houston, for that information. Now, let me say this: whatever, wherever they was in a public access area, but the police detained them, so they couldn't move, they couldn't go nowhere, they couldn't do nothing. Which to me, that amounts to an arrest. That's what I was taught. If you can't move at least 20 foot in any different direction, and the police have you there and you want to go and they won't let you go, that's an arrest. Okay, so arrest, kidnapped, it's about the same to me. If you don't have a lawful reason to be detaining somebody or arresting them, then it's a kidnap. You don't have some special power when you're the police to uh, temporarily kidnap somebody, stop them from their freedoms. You don't have no more power than the man across the street or next door to you yourself. You can't run out and just stop somebody unlawfully. There's even citizen's arrest, but you and the police are held to the same standard at that point. So, even if you don't have a lawful right to detain somebody, they're in a legal space doing a First Amendment audit or First Amendment protected activity, then you're kidnapping. Now, they was held for some time. Exactly how long they were held, I don't know. Okay. Uh, so it's out. Yes, yes, yes. Uh, I don't know the detain. I don't know how long the detainment exactly was, and I don't know if they detained them outside on the sidewalk in the public access. I don't know if they took them into the federal building and questioned them. I don't know if they put them in police cruisers. I don't know the whole details. The point is, my integrity, my name is on the line when I say somebody's been kidnapped, okay? Of course, I explained what I was talking about, but when I say that, I've got to be just as quick and just as fast to update the record so nobody worries needlessly. Somebody don't come out and say, well, Chief's an alarmist or he's a propaganda guy. I tell it straight, I tell it right, I tell it the first time correctly, the best of my knowledge, and every time thereafter. So I'm sure uh, Patrick will be doing a video tonight or tomorrow about this, okay? And I'll probably talk to him here in a little bit, but basically, after he got away or was released from kidnapping, from being kidnapped, he went to whatever safe place that he needed to get to, an automobile or back to a motel room or wherever. But he got away to wherever it was, and had to calm down. That's a very traumatic event, being detained with people by guns, which I call being kidnapped with men with guns under presumed authority to do this. And you could be thrown in the cage. And he's been thrown in the cage in the past. Thank you. God bless you too. He's been thrown in the cage unlawfully in the past over there at Ennis, Texas. Ennis, Ennis, Texas. Uh, yeah, that situation isn't over neither. I think they're going to wind up having to do a settlement with him or wind up in federal court before it's over. So the point is, uh, y'all have to be watching for his next video, and hopefully he'll tell what it is, or y'all can write questions in the comments and find out more. I can only do live stream seems to be a necessity, yeah, but but because YouTube is the way it is, a lot of people look at it one way and a lot of people look at it another. But the way it is, some people made whatever comments or whatever statements they needed to do. And of course, he's answered all of those in a very timely manner. But it caused him not to be able to live stream for a period of time. So he's, appealed it or whatever. So, whatever the situation is, he couldn't live stream at that particular time. Now, I believe that he's got another channel, or Selena does, that they could have live streamed on to the best of my knowledge. But sometimes you don't have good enough reception to live stream, especially when you get in buildings. I've experienced that myself plenty of times. Yep, give me a little bit of love, give me a thumbs up. So the point is, if you let me know that you're going to be somewhere, and if you don't call back, if you can't contact me, I can't contact you, that I will put out an alert. I will let the people know so we don't lose none of our patriots out here at the hands of bad law enforcement officers and a crooked judicial system. Okay, so I've done what I promised to do. I always do what I promise to do, so long as it's humanly possible. Uh, so, y'all want to talk to each other here for a minute? I had my headphones on because I was talking to him and I forgot to turn them on. What do you do now? All I can say is uh, do what I do. If you got people going out to do an audit, or even people in your family that's going to go to court, make an agreement with them that at a certain time, if you don't call me, text me, I can't find you somehow, some way. Thank you. Uh, then, if that happens, then you alert the public that I'm missing. But you got to people have make sure people have accountability and responsibility. Some people tell you something and they don't do it. So you got to decide that for yourself. But when a man calls me 30, 40, 50 times and tells me he's doing an audit and to watch his back, and every single time the man calls me back, or if I call him, he might be getting ready to call me back. So we've had 100% success record, and this is the first and only time. And especially with the police already telling him they're going to arrest him, what can you derive out of that? So let's keep an eye on each other and on the backs of each other. There's a lot of good cops out there, but there's a lot of bad too. There's good judges out there and there's bad judges out there. So it don't matter your race, religion, your occupation. There's good people and there's bad people. Okay? So I don't lump anybody into just a group. I don't label an entire group of people and hate on them people. Their race, their religion, uh, male, female, whatever. I love everybody equally unless they just won't let me. And if they won't let me, then I try and just go away from them. And if they pursue me, then I defend myself. What do you know right now? He was detained, I believe, by federal law enforcement, but it may have been city law enforcement in Oklahoma City. But uh, the detainment lasted however long it lasted. they asked questions or gave directives or whatever they did. I just as soon as Pat talked to me, communicated with me, the instant he did, I told him I had to get on here and get the information out. So everybody would not be panicking and calling every government agency that's got law enforcement officers in Oklahoma City. I didn't want to cause any disturbance. Uh, if we're looking for somebody and we believe the police have, quote, taken them into custody, we have a right to call and to verify if that's correct or not. Okay? Uh, I've never called for a call flood. I'm not now, and I never would call for a call flood. Uh, I can say that you got a right to ask questions. You got a right to talk to people. You got a right to do whatever whatever it is that you do. You walk up and down the sidewalk. Uh, you go out and play tennis, baseball, whatever. You know, uh, you do what you do, and government should respect what you do because they're your servants. If you owned a business and let's just say it's farming, and you got 60 farm hands out there, they're your servants. The government wants to call them your employees, but really they're your servants when you get down to it. Okay, and you're the overseer. Now I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, that sounds like slavery." That's crap. Well, they've been overseers forever. They oversee operations, and it's not a slave thing. So these are the servants, not slaves, servants that have chosen to hire themselves out to you as the overseer. If you go out there and your worker, your servant isn't doing good, then you counsel with them unless what they did is too bad. If what they did is too bad, you fire them. If you can, if you can, you're welcome. Sound Minds is a good channel to go look at and sub. There's a lot of good stuff over there. So is Falling Bomb, Falling Bomb, BOMB, Falling Bomb. It's a good channel too. Anyway, you go out there and you correct them or fire them. Well, these people in government are our servants. If they don't do right, we fire them. We counsel with them to do right, we fire them. Okay? We just have to be more active and we have to think as a group. A group. Uh, you know, strength and unity prevail. Sometimes it takes longer for one thing than the next, but strength, being like minded, one accord, always prevails. Always prevails. So I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to give it about 30 seconds and shut it down. I'm going to try and strain my eyes if anybody's got a question to answer it or y'all to talk to each other. Uh, hello, hello. Hey, y'all. See ya. Be safe. Yes. I've really got to pay attention to that and really strain my eyes. We're down to about 20 seconds. Recap. Okay. News Now. Patrick called me. I guess it was 10 o'clock or shortly after. Can't remember exactly. He said, I'm in Oklahoma City on 74th Street at the intake center. And News Now Houston said it's the federal intake center. Well, the police told him and OKC News, Oklahoma City News, they told them that they couldn't be filming. They were in a public access area. You're welcome. In a public access area filming, and it was a constitutionally protected First Amendment activity. So they took them into custody, which to me, at that point, that's kidnapping because you don't have no lawful right to take people into custody in a lawful public access area, and they detained them, which means kidnapping to me. So they kidnapped them. They held them for some time. Eventually, they released them. When they released them, I don't know if they took them inside. I'll try and do a video and talk to Patrick about it and do a video about uh, what happened and what should have happened, maybe tomorrow or Sunday, Monday, I don't know. But at any rate, at some point they released them. After that, then Patrick and crew went to whatever they considered was a safe place to get out there and kind of decompress after having this PTSD event. And Patrick's done been in the cage before in Ennis, Texas, ENNIS, Ennis, Texas, with old Sergeant Swafford over there. Uh, that deal isn't over neither. They're probably going to pay him a pretty sizable settlement in the end, or they're going to wind up in federal court. They look like clowns over there. But anyway, he's done been through this. So he has PTSD through the cage. I'm sure we have other people that's gone through that in the cage too. But we're just talking about him right now. I've talked to these people that's been put in the cage and the stress and strain it puts on them and their families. People say, yuck, yuck, yuck. Well, they put their life and their liberty on the line to make the system flip and go right and not crooked, to be a straight system. But anyway, whenever he got to a safe place, he made contact with me and let me know. And I'd let him know that I had let the people know about the kidnapping. And he says, please let them know everything's okay now. Don't let nobody worry. And I said, don't you worry. I'm getting on there right now to let them know. So, uh, God bless you, Brother Pat and crew. God bless the people on here. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. God bless you. Keep remembering Bow, BAO, Bow. That's in the can, in the cage, in Tarrant County, Texas, over there at Fort Worth. I also noticed Tyrant County, Texas. And don't forget the bad judges and their twisting of the laws and the words and codes and policies, procedures to jam him up. Okay? Only you can prevent the forest fires. Only you can prevent forest fires. We got a lot of forest fires throughout the country and a massive amount in certain places in Texas. So let's work together, pray, pull our resources, and do what we got to do to make things like Bow being thrown in the cage and James Freeman and News Now Patrick and people like C.J. Grisham not being tased out in the street till he wound up with a head injury and pulling these what they want to call these weapons of war or AR-15s, which aren't weapons of war, but anyway, we get the idea. And the police are using them like a weapon of war, and they're on a war footing. Law enforcement's on a war footing in this nation. I've talked to too many people in the military and in law enforcement both, and we all concur that they're on a war footing. The training and the mentality needs to change and go back like it was when I was in law enforcement for 40 years. They need to go back at least 20, maybe 30 years in the past. Back when we had cops like Adam 12. You know, they just wore regular clothes. They didn't suit up like they were going to Afghanistan. You know what I'm saying? So, keeping it real, keeping it honest. God bless y'all. Uh, I got my links on here. Thank you, and God bless you, and have a great day. Well, these were the greatest people, honey. These are the greatest people in America on here.